Morning, ladies and gentlemen, at the time of this recording. So, we have some news to cover in today's video. We have something that's kind of cool, some behind the scenes of Age of the Primes Deluxe Vortex, but also something, as you can tell by the title of this video, that you're either gonna like, not care about, or be extremely pissed about, which is, I'm in the middle of I don't care and I'm pissed, if that makes sense. So let's talk about this Vortex behind the scenes thing that Mark on Instagram did. So looking at these images, it looks good. I keep saying this. Vortex looks pretty good. But, it's just not really a character I care about getting. I don't know. I've said before, I think in other videos, that the Combaticons are one of my favorite G1 combiners, I'd say. But is it something that I want to spend how much would it be for the combiners they're doing these days? Like a little over 200? Is it worth spending that amount for the Combaticons for me personally? I don't know. I gotta see how everybody else looks. I gotta see how that Commander Class Onslaught looks next year, even though I really don't like that he's a Commander Class. I just think the Commander Class slots should go to other characters right now, but what do I know? But yeah, these images, Vortex looks cool. Blast effects, he's using them, comparing him next to, drawing a blank on that aerial bot's name. I know I'm not a real Transformers fan. I suck. chrisjaammm is faking for views. I cannot remember. I think this is Slingshot. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And then shows off a little bit of the combined thingy there for the arm on Superion. So again, it's doing that break apart skeletal limb system thing, I'm assuming, for Bruticus next year as well, which I honestly don't care about. I've done videos on that in the past that, I don't know, I think it works for what they're going for with the G1 combiners at least, so I really don't care about that. But yeah, posability looks good. Sculpt, paint looks decent, helicopter mode looks pretty good for what it is, modern day deluxe. So yeah, there's really not a lot that I really care about or want to complain about with this Vortex. Looks like a pretty decent, typical 2025 deluxe class Hasbro figure, But the main event for this video that I want to talk about is... So I don't know where this screenshot came from. I got this off of some TFW board page. I forget where it's from. But I don't know where this screenshot originates from. So somebody DM'd Evan on Instagram asking, I know you can't go into details, but will Vector Prime appear in the Age of the Primes line? And then Evan responds with, all 13 Primes will be present, but it will be broken over 2 years. They are all new molds except Vector. Now, you had me in the first half, I'm not going to lie, y'all. But then I read the second half. They are all new molds, in parentheses, except Vector. So, if you've been watching the channel for a little while now, since the Legacy Vector Prime that was revealed last year, I don't like that figure. I think it's terrible. I think it's a lazy excuse for an all-new Cybertron Vector Prime. If you guys go back even further to my videos from, I think, 2023, when the listings first leaked that we would be getting a new Cybertron Vector Prime last year, I was hyped. I was really excited. I was a little on the fence because the original figure that is up on my shelf right there, you can see, that I have, is still amazing for today's standards. And my skepticism was kind of right. The figure really wasn't that great. It was a remold of J-Axis of all things. And the fact that it's going to be basically the same thing, it seems like, from what Evan is saying. For the re-release that's coming, I can't remember if that Vector Prime is next year or later this year. I don't think it would be later this year. But, it's just going to be a re-release of the one we got last year in Legacy. I don't know why they keep shafting Vector Prime in terms of the budget like this, but, I mean, this is just the decisions that Hasbro makes. Now, I'm not blaming this on Evan, I'm not blaming this on Mark. I'm not saying it's their fault. I 100% guarantee you Evan and Mark would prefer Vector Prime to be an all-new mold that's probably like a leader class that comes with Safeguard. In fact, I'm like 1,000% sure that's the case. These guys are fans of Transformers just as much as me or you watching this video. So it's these executives at the top, whoever else is above the designers, making these decisions, budgets, character picks, whatever else. We sometimes hear them talk about this a little bit, but obviously they're not going to talk about it to the point where they're at risk of being fired, I'd assume. So it's just ridiculous the choices these heads are making at Hasbro in terms of characters and just everything in general. You know, it's just something that I really hope these guys at the top learn, because that Vector Prime last year was a shelf warmer, if I remember correctly. So what is the... Like, obviously people spoke with their wallets and they're like, you know, this Vector Prime is absolute shite. I am not going to spend almost $40 on a crappy retool of a figure that was yellowing 2.5, 3 years ago. So yeah, I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, okay, they're just reissuing the Vector Prime from last year. It is what it is, not a big deal. When, like, bro, he's one of the most popular primes in Transformers. You show a Transformers fan a picture of what's a really obscure prime I could use here? Let's say, I'm trying to think which one to pick here so I don't look like I'm not a fan of Transformers and you get people in my comments saying, you're wrong, people would know this, you're not a real fan, get your facts straight. I don't know, let's go with Amalgamus Prime. You show a Transformers fan a picture of Amalgamus Prime, whether they're a big fan or a casual fan, I'm sure they're going to take a few seconds to think of the name. But you show somebody a picture of Vector Prime, whether they're a casual or a big fan, they're going to know it's freaking Vector Prime. So why are we more than likely going to be getting a new mold for freaking Amalgamus than we are for Vector Prime? It makes absolutely no sense to me. That's where I'm at right now with my headspace on what's going on with this Vector Prime and them straight up reissuing the same figure that, mind you, basically flopped last year and shelf warmed online and in stores. I go to my freaking Target, there's like 10 Legacy Vector Primes just sitting there. I bet you if I go to my Target right now, there's still going to be some of those Vector Primes. Now, don't 100% quote me on that, I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm sure it's very likely, alright? So I just don't know what the decision is here. It's pretty ridiculous to me. But you know, I don't want to ramble on too much longer about this. The fact of the matter is, it seems like they're just going to reissue that same Vector Prime that flopped last year, and you know, these heads at Hasbro are not learning their lesson as the years go on, it seems. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about those in-hand images of Age of the Primes Vortex, and how do you guys feel about the word from Evan himself that Vector Prime coming out in Age of the Primes is going to be a straight-up reissue of the Legacy figure, it seems. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!